7 Shocking Psychological Truths About People Who Never Celebrate or Skip Valentine's Day. The last one will blow your mind, and it will change how you see love forever. Have you ever wondered why some people treat Valentine's Day like any other day? No flowers, no dinner reservations, no romantic posts, nothing. In a world obsessed with proving love through grand gestures, where Valentine's Day has become a billion-dollar industry, love is expected to be displayed with roses, chocolates, and public declarations. Yet there's a group of people who simply opt out. Some are single and unbothered, while others are in relationships but refuse to participate. But psychology reveals something fascinating. Their decision to skip Valentine's Day isn't about being cold, bitter, or unromantic. It's actually a reflection of their values, their authenticity, and their understanding of what real love means. Behind their quiet rebellion lies a mindset of independence, critical thinking, and emotional maturity, qualities that most people haven't developed. Let's decode the psychology of people who never celebrate or skip Valentine's Day. Number 1. They reject performative love. While the world is busy showing off their love on social media, these people are focused on actually living it, day in and day out. Psychologists call this relationship signaling, the need to publicly display your relationship status and happiness for social validation. Valentine's Day is the peak of this performative love, but the people who skip it, they've transcended this need. They don't require a public stage to validate their love. They don't need February 14th to prove anything. They've figured out something crucial. Real love doesn't need a designated day or a public announcement. Research shows that couples who constantly broadcast their love on social media often report lower relationship satisfaction. Why? Because they're seeking external validation for an internal connection. They need others to confirm their happiness. People who skip Valentine's Day don't play that game. They understand that true love is shown in everyday moments, not just one day of obligatory romance. Their love is real and authentic because it's private, consistent, and doesn't depend on anyone's approval. Number 2. They think independently. Here's what sets them apart. They question everything, even the traditions everyone else blindly follows. Psychological studies show that most people follow social norms without truly thinking about them. It's easier and safer. But those who skip Valentine's Day have developed critical thinking and actively challenge cultural expectations. They ask, why this day? Why these specific gifts? Who profits from this tradition? And they come to a conclusion. Valentine's Day is largely a commercial construct designed to make people feel insecure. This isn't cynicism, it's discernment. It's an internal evaluation that leads to greater authenticity and life satisfaction. Research shows that people with an internal locus of evaluation report higher life satisfaction and authenticity. These individuals don't need society's approval to feel good about themselves. They live by their own values. Choosing authenticity takes courage, especially in a world that often judges those who step outside the mainstream. These people are willing to stand alone, and that's what makes them so powerful. Number 3. They understand real intimacy. True intimacy isn't scheduled. It's spontaneous and earned every day. Psychologists distinguish between ritual intimacy, like Valentine's Day, and authentic intimacy, the deep, genuine connection that grows over time. Valentine's Day represents ritual intimacy at its extreme. People who skip it prioritize authentic intimacy instead. They believe that if you need a reminder to be romantic, you're missing the point entirely. They'd rather receive flowers on a random Tuesday because their partner was thinking of them, not because the calendar told them to. Research shows that surprise acts of affection create stronger emotional bonds than routine, expected gestures. The surprise element activates reward centers in the brain more powerfully than predictable romance. Valentine's Day skippers intuitively understand this. They're building something real and lasting, a connection forged through consistency, not spectacle. Ironically, this often creates deeper, more resilient relationships. Number 4. They refuse artificial pressure. Valentine's Day isn't about celebrating love, it's about pressuring it. Psychologists recognize Valentine's Day as a source of significant stress. Singles feel inadequate. People in new relationships feel rushed. Long-term couples feel obligated. Everyone is measuring their love against an impossible standard. The pressure is suffocating. Research shows that this stress actually harms relationships. When you're focused on meeting external expectations, you're not building a real connection. You're merely managing appearances. People who skip Valentine's Day refuse to participate in that pressure entirely. They've rejected letting a date on the calendar dictate their worth, their relationship status, or their romantic obligations. For singles, it's a relief from the cultural narrative that being alone on February 14th is tragic. Research shows that people who are comfortable with solitude have higher self-esteem and better mental health. For couples, it's freedom from the unspoken rules about who should do what, spend how much, and prove their love in socially acceptable ways. They freed themselves from a system that tells them their worth is tied to romance on a single day of the year. Instead, they're creating a narrative of love that's far richer and more personal. Number 5. They've mastered emotional self-sufficiency. Here's the deeper truth. They don't need a holiday to feel valued. Psychological studies on attachment styles show that securely attached individuals have a stable sense of self-worth that isn't dependent on external events or validation. Valentine's Day skippers often exhibit this secure attachment. They're not waiting for February 14th to feel loved or valuable. They've learned that their worth doesn't depend on relationship status. For them, love isn't about validation from outside sources, it's about the internal sense of connection they've built. This emotional self-sufficiency is rare but powerful. It means they're not vulnerable to the manipulation of cultural expectations. They're not buying into the message that you're incomplete without a Valentine, or that your love isn't real unless you prove it on demand or symbolized by flowers and chocolates. Studies show that people with high emotional self-sufficiency have better mental health, stronger relationships, and greater resilience. They've become their own source of validation, which paradoxically makes them better partners and more content individuals. Number 6. They prioritize financial intelligence. Now, let's talk about the money. The average American spends over $175 on Valentine's Day. Multiply that over a lifetime, and it's thousands of dollars, often spent on a single arbitrary day. Overpriced gifts. People who skip Valentine's Day have done the math. Behavioral economics research shows that many consumer decisions are driven by social pressure rather than genuine desire. Valentine's Day is the perfect example. People buy overpriced roses, expensive dinners, and obligatory jewelry, not because they want to, but because they feel they must. Valentine's Day skippers don't fall into that trap. They understand that their money can be better spent on things they actually value. They choose to invest in experiences or gifts that have real meaning. They'd rather spend that money meaningfully, on experiences they genuinely want, gifts that are thoughtful, or investments in their future, not the ones society tells them they should buy. This isn't about being cheap, it's about being intentional. Research shows that people who spend money aligned with their values report higher satisfaction than those who spend based on social expectations. Valentine's Day skippers are choosing value-aligned spending over pressure-driven consumption. Number 7. They've redefined what love means. Perhaps most importantly, they've rejected the commercialized definition of love and created their own. Cultural psychology shows that love languages and relationship needs vary dramatically across individuals and cultures. Yet Valentine's Day prescribes a specific formula. Romance must look like roses, chocolates, candlelit dinners, and public declarations. But what if that's not how you express or receive love? What if your love language is quality time, acts of service, or shared adventures, none of which fit the Valentine's Day script? People who skip Valentine's Day have often rejected the template entirely. They've defined love on their own terms. Maybe love looks like supporting each other's goals. Maybe it's quiet moments of connection. Maybe it's independent growth with mutual respect. They've personalized their relationships in a way that's more meaningful than any pre-packaged holiday tradition. Research shows that couples who create their own rituals and traditions report higher intimacy and satisfaction. They've personalized their relationship rather than standardizing it. Valentine's Day skippers are doing exactly this. They're not following the script, they're writing their own. And that authenticity creates deeper, more genuine connection than any pre-packaged holiday could manufacture. So, the next time you meet someone who skips Valentine's Day, don't assume they're bitter, lonely, or incapable of love. Don't mistake their absence of celebration for an absence of feeling. It's authenticity. It's emotional intelligence. It's understanding that love doesn't need a holiday to prove it's real. It's discernment. It's emotional maturity. It's someone who's learned that love doesn't require a designated day to be real. They don't skip Valentine's Day because they don't believe in love. They skip it because they understand love too deeply to reduce it to a commercialized performance. And in doing so, they've discovered something even more powerful: the freedom to love without limits. That's true romance. Because when you truly love someone, you don't need a calendar to tell you when to show it. You show it every day, through actions, not announcements, through consistency, not grand gestures, through authenticity, not performances. This is what love really looks like. Not in roses that die, not in chocolates that melt, not in reservations that end, but in the choice to show up day after day. Valentine's Day skippers aren't rejecting love. They're refusing to let society define it for them. And that might be the most romantic thing of all. Comment "I relate" if this felt personal. And do subscribe for psychology-based truths most people never talk about.